We have a lot of things to talk about. We are truly in the midst of what you would call the fog of war at the current moment. We have a lot of breaking news to get with you here. Totally changed the format of the show because, as you guys know, the Department of War and the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, just gave a press conference. Secretary Hegseth and Secretary Rubio will be briefing Congress on tomorrow. But we have a lot of updates, and there's a lot of things we got to talk about that are true. There's a lot of things we got to talk about that are not true. First and foremost, this is not Iraq and Afghanistan. And there's a lot of, as Dan would call them, doomers. Me and Dan were talking about this last night. Dan calls them doomers. I call them the dark right. That's what I call them. There's a lot of doomers and dark right and the fake news media that want you to believe that this is an endless war. In fact, I find it ironic that on Friday's episode, I said it wouldn't shock me if Donald Trump dropped his balls and or missiles on Iran. Wouldn't shock me at all. And I would be completely for it. Why? Because they're not listening. Donald Trump has tried diplomacy over and over and over again. And it is amazing to see all of these America First conservatives that do not understand the very simple principle that you cannot be America First without American dominance. Without if you jerk us around, you will find out. If you kill Americans, we will hunt you down and we will murder you. You cannot be America First without the rest of the world knowing that you have the bigger stick than everybody else on the planet and you are not afraid to use it. And we will try diplomacy, but if you keep messing around, you keep jerking around, we will end it. We're going to talk about a lot of things, but we also have to talk about all of these people, man. All of these people that claim that they're America First, but all of a sudden they're pro-Iran. You can't be America First and then be anti-America when the president that we voted for did something not the way that you would have done it. You see, because again, he's the president. We elected him to be our leader. And yes, I've got my concerns about certain things, but I also see what they're doing. I also see the differences between this and Iraq and Afghanistan. And any veteran that's telling you that they don't, I don't know what else to tell you except there's a lot of TBIs. There's a lot of people that are on a lot of medication these days. And there's a lot of people that forgot why they put the uniform on in the first place. Because there is no comparison between the two. There is a war going on, that is true, but it's not in Iran. It's actually here in America. We have an invasion of Muslims and Islam in this country, which I have stated for months, if not years. Everybody's talking about the Jews, and we've been talking about what about the jihadists? Now all of a sudden we have sleeper cells being activated. Why? I don't know. Maybe because the Biden administration let tens of millions of illegals that most likely were terrorist sleeper cells into our country. But again, that's Trump's fault, right? No, we're also in a war here, not only on the Islam front, but also within our own party, because we have people that are now actively telling you, do not vote in elections. Let the Democrats win. The best thing that could possibly happen for us is to let the same people who want men to become women, women to become men, to have your children's genitals cut off due to gender affirming care, post-birth infanticide. The list goes on and on and on. It's better for us, for them to win than the current administration. Those people are not America First. Those people are traitors. But there's also a certain amount of it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we say. It doesn't matter what I do, because the people that are on that train hate me and they hate you. And they always have, and they always will. There's no getting to them. There's no breakthrough moment. But of course, they think the same thing about us. So we're at a inflection point in America where our side is either going to figure out who the crazies are or we're going to implode. See, there is a war going on. It's just not in Iran. A lot of stuff to talk about. Very short time to do it. We need every single one of you to do us a favor and hit the like button right now. If you agree with everything I just said in that opening monologue, hit that like button. The more you do, the more people see this after the live show. Drop an American flag in the comment section if you agree. We have a lot to talk about, but first we got to talk about our good friends at Black Rifle Coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys know that this is my go-to, but on March the 7th, they've got a new ready-to-drink. The Just Black is now launching in the cold brew ready-to-drink. I can't wait to try that. I don't know if it's going to outdo this one for me, but I'm going to give it a shot. Go to blackriflecoffee.com or simply go into any gas station because they're everywhere, because they're Black Rifle. We're very appreciative to have them as a sponsor. All right, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's favorite redneck hot seat Todd is here.
Yeah, it's been a rough weekend, man. This was like I think we're jumping right into like the influencer wars of 2026. Like we're going to talk about this in a couple years and look back and go, what the hell were we doing? You know, I mean, it's just my advice to everybody is this is what I did over the weekend. I didn't pay attention to what anybody said. Anybody. There are so many influencers that were like defending Trump on Twitter, but on their Facebook accounts, they were bashing him. Like, I just, you can't trust anybody now. Like you can't.
Well, again, we'll get into all that in a minute. But first, we've got breaking news. If you support our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, I just want the word Pete to blow up in the comment section right now. I know the Department of War watches this show. I just want the word Pete to start blowing up in the chat and the comment section right this second. Let's get right into it, Todd, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. All right, this was literally minutes ago. Here are clips from the Secretary of War about where we stand with everything. Let's play it.
2 days ago, under the direction and direct orders of President Donald J. Trump, the Department of War launched Operation Epic Fury, the most lethal, most complex, and most precise aerial operation in history. For 47 long years, the expansionist and Islamist regime in Tehran has waged a savage, one-sided war against America. They didn't always declare it openly, except for their constant chants of death to America. They did it through the blood of our people. Car bombs in Beirut, rocket attacks on our ships, murders at our embassies, roadside bombs in Iraq and Afghanistan, funded and armed by Iranian Quds Force and IRGC killers. My generation of veterans carry the names of brothers who never came home. Brothers butchered by Iranian-backed roadside bombs and well-armed militias, thousands of our own. We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it. Their war on Americans has become our retribution against their Ayatollah and his death cult.
Yeah, I have no idea where he's going. But let me just tell you, all right, let me tell you this. When it comes to Pete Hegseth, all right, to the civilians out there, the veterans in the chat, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. If you want to know how the Department of War, meaning men and women in uniform, feel about Pete Hegseth, look at the NCO Corps. Not the officers, look at the NCO Corps. They love this man because of this right here. This dude does not play games. He quit school because of recess, and he will go down, at least in my opinion, he will go down as the best Secretary of War in our generation, bar none. And he's back.
Okay, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Had an issue really quick. We're back. Okay, let's go to the next clip. There's a lot of things to get into. This is him talking about the fact of President Trump here, all right? The 47th president took 47 years for someone to do it. I want to take the temperature of the audience right now. We had a conversation. I'll get into it in a minute. If you stand with President Trump, I want the American flag to show up in the chat. If you disagree with this, then put the poop emojis in the chat. I don't know, but I want to get a temp. Do you agree? Yes or no? with what the president has done. Let's go. Let's play this clip.
A whole lot of flags.
Let's play this clip.
It took the 47th president, a fighter who always puts America first, to finally draw the line after 47 years of Iranian belligerence. He reminded the world, as he has time and time again, being an American means something unbreakable. If you kill Americans, if you threaten Americans anywhere on earth, we will hunt you down without apology and without hesitation, and we will kill you.
Pause.
President.
Oh my God, I love that.
If you hurt Americans, if you threaten Americans in any way, shape, form, or fashion, you guys are breaking my chat right now. If you hurt Americans, if you threaten Americans, we will hunt you down and we will kill you. Can I ask an honest question really quick? And I've gotten the feedback from a lot of you when we talk about these very serious things, you like me to be a bit more concise and a bit more or a less emotional and more to the point. What is more America first than that?
I agree with that. I'll wait.
What we watched the State of the Union, we watched this Democrat sat down when President Trump said, if you believe that American citizens should come before anything else, please stand. And we watched the Democrats sit down. And now we have a Secretary of War and a president, a commander-in-chief, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Secretary of State, vice president, all the leaders saying one thing resoundingly clear. If you threaten America, no one has funded, fueled, equipped insurgency and terrorism more than Iran, which is crazy to me for all of the Iraq and Afghanistan veterans that seem to not know that.
Yeah.
No one has threatened the lives of Americans quite like Iran has over the past 47 years. If you hurt Americans, if you kill Americans, if you threaten Americans, we will hunt you down and we will kill you. If that's not America first, I don't really know what is. If you agree with that, comment yes or no in the comment section. All right, let's keep going. Secretary of War had more to say. Let's do this.
Turns out the regime who chanted death to America and death to Israel was gifted death from America and death from Israel.
Yeah.
This is not a so-called regime change war, but the regime sure did change. And the world.
All right.
Thug, man.
And the world is better for it. Again, the Ayatollah dead. Even the people that were middle line of the fence, Michael Knowles was one of them. He was like, if Trump messes up on this, it will ruin everything, the legacy and all this. But if by some chance, this is Michael Knowles' exact words, but if by some chance he's able to take out the Ayatollah, give him as many statues.
For real.
Well, I'm paraphrasing this part. Give him as many statues, put him on Mount Rushmore. It will cement his legacy as one of the greatest leaders the world has ever seen. I don't know if you know what the Ayatollah is in, Iran and all this stuff. It's like second to their God, the Ayatollah. Just to put it in perspective. Okay, so we have a president, but our president is nowhere close to being second to God here in America. But for Iran and all of that, that's how big of a deal it is. Not only did we, I told you so, killed him, right? Not only did we do that, then they named someone after it and he's gone too. I'm hearing reports we killed his family members. We killed key cabinet level officials.
Son-in-laws.
Up to 40 of the most senior level officials of their tyrannical regime have been taken out. But,
I'll put it to you like
Jews.
this. As a GWAT guy, I wish President Trump was president when we kicked off after 9/11. I wish he had been the president because we wouldn't have spent 20 some odd years in Iraq and Afghanistan. That'd have been over in a couple months.
Correct. And speaking of, let's finish out what the Secretary of War had to say here. Let's keep going.
Through the blood of our people. Car bombs in Beirut, rocket attacks on our ships, murders at our embassies, roadside bombs in Iraq in Afghanistan, funded and armed by Iranian Quds Force and IRGC killers. My generation of veterans carry the names of brothers who never came home. Brothers butchered by Iranian-backed roadside bombs and well-armed militias, thousands of our own. We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it. Their war on Americans has become our retribution against their Ayatollah. Through the blood of our people.
All right, let's go. Let's do another one. Let's keep going. We got to roll with this thing here.
Nah, we saw that one.
We saw that one. Give me the Iraq thing.
Got it.
All right, this is him smacking down the fake news. Now, before we play this clip, I want to point out all the doomers and the dark right and the paid for Qatar or Qatar influencers. Here's another thing I'm sick and tired of, and I want you to comment yes or no about this. If there is a group of people that have a similar idea about a person, a topic, a place, what I hate now is, oh, they're paid. They're paid by the Jews. Or I don't even, I retract what I said. I don't even like us saying, oh, they're paid for by Qatar and all this other kind of stuff. I don't like it. Maybe, just maybe, they're all crazy. Maybe, just maybe, they idealistically all feel that way. People said that it was this huge paid campaign to call Candace Owens evil and demonic. Okay, well, Tucker Carlson just called President Trump disgusting and evil. Interesting. It's all interesting. Every time there's a group of people that feel the same way, we're paid to say it. Make America great again will soon be the dark right and the far left's, paid campaigns of attack now. Paid campaigns. You see, paid campaigns has become the new pedophile, has become the new Nazi, has become the new racist, has become the he touched me too.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of the disease that the internet has become. And you want to know how I know that the fringe people that live online are not real life.
No.
The vast majority of people that you talk to, in the world. Hey, did you know that Iran has been funding terrorism for the past 47 years? Did you know that Iran has killed thousands of American troops, either directly or indirectly by fueling IEDs, V-beds, all this other kind of stuff? Did you know that they've been chanting death to America and death to Israel for the past 47 years? Did you know that we almost had them completely bankrupt until Biden helped fund them as a bartering chip to try to please don't cause us any more trouble? We'll give you billions of dollars not to do it. Did you know that Trump has been trying for the past 6 some odd months to talk to them diplomatically to try to figure this out, and they just wouldn't listen? Did you know if you explained those key points to most normal Americans, they'd be like, oh yeah, kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Kill them. Take them out. If you agree with that, put some American flags in the chat right now. Online rage bait X algorithms. And I hate how it changes so quickly. Elon, I know you got AI doing the algorithms now. I hate it. And here's why. If I watch one video on a topic, then all I get is every other person that agrees with that topic. That's a broken algorithm.
You ain't lying.
That is a broken algorithm. That is a messed up algorithm. So if you look at something the Hodge twins say, then all you're going to see is Hodge twins and Stu Peters and Ian Carroll and Dave Smith and Candace
Evan
Owens.
Kilgore.
If you watch something that I say, then you're going to see Pete Hegseth, you're going to see the president, you're going to see Dan Bongino, you're going to see all of this. It's a broken algorithm. If I watch one sports clip, all I'm going to see is sports.
Yeah.
It's a broken algorithm. All right, but here is Pete Hegseth debunking the lying media, the doomers, and the dark right, as I like to call them, all in one thing. Those people that are saying we have entered in the next Iraq war. Play it.
To the media outlets and political left screaming endless wars, stop. This is not Iraq. This is not endless. I was there for both. Our generation knows better, and so does this president. He called the last 20 years of nation-building wars dumb, and he's right. This is the opposite. This operation is a clear, devastating, decisive mission. Destroy the missile threat, destroy the Navy, no nukes. Israel has clear missions as well, for which we are grateful. Capable partners, as we've said since the beginning, capable partners are good partners. Unlike so many of our traditional allies who wring their hands and clutch their pearls, hemming and hawing about the use of force. America, regardless of what so-called international institutions say, is unleashing the most lethal and precise air power campaign in history. B-2s, fighters, drones, missiles, and of course, classified effects. All on our terms, with maximum authorities. No stupid rules of engagement, no nation-building quagmire, no democracy-building exercise, no politically correct wars. We fight to win, and we don't waste time or lives.
Love it. That's pretty simple right there.
It's not even the same thing. It's just not.
No.
It's just not. And you're going to have the people, that are like, oh, Trump, this is the start of World War III. And you've got people. Here's the thing. Even if you completely remove Israel, remove all of it. Even if you totally and completely disagree with the president, the decision to do this, all of this, my question to you is how? Donald Trump has been with us in the political eye since 2015. We voted for him in 16, we voted for him in 20, and we voted for him again in 2024. We have a 2015 clip when he was on the campaign trail talking about exactly what he would do to Iran. Let's play it.
They want to go after our civilians. They want to kill not only our civilians, all over the world. And it's going to be stopped. It's going to be stopped. Somebody criticized me the other day because they asked me what I do. And I said, I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. It's true. I don't care.
Pause. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care.
That's my president.
And
right
people will have you believe, these doomers, these dark right, these fake media narratives will have you believe, oh, Donald Trump has changed.
No.
He's literally been saying it since the beginning. Drop an American flag if you remember that Donald Trump.
Whoa.
Everybody keeps talking about what happened to this Donald Trump. But then they find tweets from 2012 and 2013 where he's like, die, you terrorist scum.
Yeah. He died like a dog.
And so Donald Trump has told everyone from the get-go, Iran will not have nuclear weapons. And I would say even further, Iran will not have the capabilities to hurt America anymore. But the doomers and the dark right and the fake media, they want you to believe that Donald Trump has had this phone call from Bibi Netanyahu. Now look, here's the thing. You cannot like Bibi Netanyahu. And honestly, I can see why you don't. He's a politician after all. But Bibi Netanyahu is not the entire state of Israel, just like Donald Trump obviously is not the entire country of America. Look at all the people who hate him. Look at all the people who hate us that stand and support him. But it's funny to me how we apply this thing of, well, Bibi Netanyahu is Israel. Okay, I guess technically he is he's the leader. Do I stand with the government of Israel and everything they're doing? No. However, there's a big difference between questioning their government, which we've talked about this a million times. If we can question our own government because we know our own government's corrupt, then every government's corrupt. Still doesn't negate the fact that Israel is not behind anything, but every single person that's telling you right now, do not vote, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. We don't care about your elections. If you do vote, vote for Democrats. Nick Fuentes is saying that now. because the best thing for America is for Republicans to lose and the Democrats to take over. Think about that for 5 seconds. What kind of sense does that make?
Yeah. And to the World War III doomers and gloomers, I have one question, and it's just common sense. What is Russia, China, and North Korea doing right now? Nothing. Not a thing. They're not saying a word. You know why? Because they don't want to get smacked too. Like, they know the deal.
Well, here's the other thing that's been going on. A lot of people who will remain unnamed, because at this point, I'm very much, it's time to starve these people out.
Agreed.
A little bit. It's time to starve them out. But they have been using Charlie, my friend, they've been using previous comments from Charlie, out of context, mind you, to show that Charlie Kirk would be against what's going on right now. And it makes me sick. It makes me sick to see it. Now, Charlie would have pushed back greatly against the president. I don't want to mince words there. Mm-hmm. Charlie Kirk would have talked about, I don't know, Mr. President. I don't know if the benefits outweigh the risk. I don't know. But at the end of the day, this is what Charlie actually thought. And I believe, well, no, not this part. This is later. This is later. Here we go. This is Charlie Kirk talking about when President Trump bombed Iran the last time. Let's play it.
And you might say, Charlie, do you support or oppose this? I support President Trump. That's my answer. I know the man. He's the commander in chief. He's the man for the hour, and he's had the weight of the world on his shoulders. So in a situation like this, I support my friend, and he's had my back and I have his. That's my perspective. By the way, I also look at this and I say, and I understand the arguments of people that, don't intervene and all that. I get it. But boy, have we not exhausted so many diplomatic channels and options. Here is Netanyahu, 261, praising and congratulating.
That's it. There you go. So you can pull up all these older clips all you want to of Charlie talking about not getting involved in Iran and this and that. But when we bombed Iran, that is actual footage from his show. He said at the end of the day, do we have the tweet where he talks about he executed with prudence and all that kind of stuff?
Got it.
Pull that up. Iran gave President Trump no choice. For a decade, he has been adamant that Iran will never get a nuclear weapon. Iran decided to forego diplomacy in pursuit of a bomb. This is a surgical strike operated perfectly. President Trump acted with prudence and decisiveness. So here's the main difference. All of these other people are showing Charlie's objections to getting involved in Iran. But then when the decision was made by the leader we chose to get involved with surgical precision strikes, overwhelmingly so, just like now, the bombings last time are child's play to what's going on right this second.
Oh, yeah.
But they're using Charlie as some kind of emotional manipulation that we've lost our way. But they're leaving out the fact that when the decision was made by the commander-in-chief, by the person that we voted for to make these decisions with the weight of the world on his shoulders, Charlie made it abundantly clear that he stands and supports his friend, his leader, President Donald Trump. And that is my point of view from this show. That is our stance on this show. We voted for President Trump for such a time as this. So you don't get to have it both ways. You don't get to vote for President Trump when it makes you feel good. And then when times get tough and the big boy decisions got to get made, you say and you do whatever makes you the most money and whatever gets you the most clicks on X. You don't get to have it both ways. You pick a freaking side and you stand with the team you chose or get the crap out.
Yep. You lead with the date that brought you.
And you're seeing all of these people that are traitors online with no actual real life repercussions involved in them at all. They know that this isn't Iraq. They know this isn't Afghanistan. They know that odds are, I ran a poll on my page, 85% said Trump's going to win this thing.
Soon.
I said, what's the most likely outcome on this? Trump wins or World War III? 85%. Trump's going to win. Trump's going to win. And they know this, but they do what gets them the most clicks and the most engagement and the most money during all of this.
Yep.
And what sickens me is they use Charlie and they use his open thought process in front of people and in front of the camera versus his final stance and his final opinion. Hey, everybody knows I've got my objections. Everybody knows I've got this. We do too. But the freaking boss made the decision. And we're on Team America. And if you can't be on Team America because the boss didn't make the decision that you liked, get the crap out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between questioning and there's a versus all out just completely throwing America under the bus for Iran. Get out. I got nothing.
Okay, you can leave, right? And don't worry, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I got no problems.
Hey, look. We're willing to understand. If you agree with what we just said right there, hit that like button and put some American flags right now. I want to take the temperature and the pulse of who we're talking to here. Like, I am self-aware enough to say, hey, look, I realize that this movement's changing. I realize that maybe I have lost touch. And if that ever becomes the case, you're right. I don't want any part of it. If Candace Owens, the Hodge twins, and Keith, Kevin, look, dude, I have not attacked y'all publicly. Y'all made a freaking social media clip video about me. All right, we've had our differences. You got my freaking phone number. But here's the thing. Candace Owens, the Hodge twins, Ian Carroll, Dave Smith, Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, all these other people. If you want to be on that crowd, fine. Go be on that crowd. That is your constitutional right, and you have every freedom to do so. I want nothing to do with it. I don't. And if that makes me your enemy, then I guess we're enemies.
Oh, well.
But here's the thing. If that's the vast majority of Americans and how you feel, and keep those American flags going if you agree with what I'm saying. If that's how the vast majority of America feels, I will gladly unplug this microphone and I will walk my happy butt into, I don't know, obscurity. Someone who was, but no longer is, a has been. I will, because I don't want that. And I just cannot believe that that is the majority of how Americans feel. I just can't. I can't believe it. And if I'm proven wrong, then I will pack my crap up and I will leave. But if you agree with what we're saying, you don't have to agree 100% with me, but on the core values of it, you're either for America or you get out.
Pretty simple.
We can have internal debates, open dialogue 100%, but when it comes to the world stage, you better freaking have the red, white, and blue waving. You better be Team America. And all of these people that are like, oh, Iran, get them. There's some dude who is celebrating Iran, like shooting missiles. What the crap are we talking about?
More than one. There's more than one.
What's this guy's name? Sneeko? This super big live streamer, Sneeko. Yeah. And he was like talking about the Ayatollah just got the grand, the most... Like the highest honor that he possibly could. He's an open Muslim there, just celebrating it.
I hate to break your heart, but he's eating a corn dog and a candy apple in hell right now.
Anyway. All right. I'm celebrating Donald Trump doing what presidents have talked about doing for the past 47, 48 years. And that's the thing. The man can't win for losing. If he didn't do anything, then he's weak. If he does do something, he's starting a war.
Well, that's my question, man. And for America right now is like, okay, so this is the decision was between crap and crappier. All right. So what's he supposed to do? Like, I mean, we've already had conversations over and over and over, basically begging these people, look, stop, knock it off. Like, it's been 47 years at this point. We've been telling you for 47 years. Biden told you don't. Kamala told you don't. I mean, Trump's already told you he was going to bomb the piss out of you. So what do you want the man to do? Like, just not do anything, let Iran keep building, keep funding terrorism all over the world. And then when some 9/11 event happens in America, then what? Like then what?
All right, we're over the halfway part of this show. This is where we remind you to hit the like button. If this is your first time watching the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. But here's what we're going to do. We know for a fact CENTCOM has confirmed that we've lost 4 service members so far. So what I'd like for you guys to do, we're going to take a moment of silence, and I want you to blow up that comment section with an American flag for our troops like you never have before. I want you to break the chat. Let's have a moment of silence for those that we've lost. All right. We're praying for you. We're praying for your families.
Yes.
We're praying for the troops that are still out there doing the thing. This is the reality, guys. This is the dark reality of it all, but it's things that must be done.
Yep.
All right. Let's look at terrorist cell stuff first, Todd, before we get into other reactions. There were multiple mass casualty events over the weekend. You guys heard about Austin, Texas. There was one in Ohio. There was one in Washington, D.C. as well. The FBI has acknowledged that most of these appear to be terrorist sleeper cells with motivations of the USA attacking Iran. Austin, Texas, the person was wearing a Property of Allah hoodie with a Quran in his car. And this is Brandon Gill talking about that. Let's listen to it. Terrible sight. All right, let's go up. Let's read what Brandon Gill has to say. Brandon Gill had this to say at the top. He's actively demanding 100% total and complete ban on Islamic immigration into the U.S. after an African man committed a mass shooting in Austin wearing a Property of Allah and a Quran reportedly found in his car. Gill, quote, no more Islamic immigration. Immigration isn't, quote, good just because it's legal. My question to you is this. I made a post yesterday saying that Islam, radical Islam, however you want to define it, is not compatible with America. It's not. In fact, if you read the Quran actually gives Muslims the freedom to lie.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys know that if they're speaking to the infidel or things like this, that the Quran literally allows them to lie? So think about all the people that have sworn into office on American soil on a Quran. How can we trust them to be telling the truth when their Quran literally tells them they're allowed to lie to us, the infidels? In fact, since so many people are invoking Charlie all of a sudden, let's see what Charlie had to say about Islam. There's a Charlie Kirk X post tweet for everything. Islam is not compatible with Western civilization. It is time for us to deport and end all third world immigration, especially Muslim, Islam, whatever you want to call it. If you agree with that, I want you to put an American flag in the chat.
I agree with it 100%, but the scary part about it is they're already here. I mean, they're already here. We saw it over the weekend, and my biggest fear, and me and you said it during the entire Biden administration, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, is
It's a matter of
when.
when.
And here we are.
How many of these Islamic radical jihadists did I almost said Biden. Did Biden yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Did Biden allow into our country? And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, have your head on a swivel because it is getting dangerous out there.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. It's getting dangerous. And you know, here you go. 13 people shot at a riverfront live in Cincinnati, Ohio. We don't have to play it. You get the point. And then even in Washington, D.C. on 495, I believe, the Beltway, I drove this many times, stabbing. 4 people, one fatally before he was shot and killed by Virginia State Police trooper on Interstate 495 Beltway near Washington, D.C. Authorities said a dog was also stabbed to death during the incident. Again,
It's messed up.
this is the first of many, ladies and gentlemen. I do not see this getting better. I only see this getting worse. And here's people getting upset that U.S. Marines opened fired on Pakistanis who stormed the U.S. consulate. So here's a clip of how it went down, and this is the less violent one. All right, here we go. Play it.
I mean, I guess I'm assuming that they've been paying attention to Twitter, and they're like, well, it's legal in Minneapolis and New York. Let's try it against the United States Marines. And yeah, that didn't work out.
Just mute the volume real quick, Todd. Let that play. Okay, on a serious note, ladies and gentlemen, what are the Marines supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, here's what irritates me. If you agree that these people should have been shot, I want you to freaking put a yes or
100%.
no. And the thing, what level do people have to get to before our troops can shoot back and defend themselves? What the heck are we even talking about?
Yep.
What are we talking about? This is
And-
the craziest thing ever.
and just to show you the
media
difference-
has a problem with this. Go
And
ahead.
just to show you the difference between the Biden administration, the Obama administration, and Pete Hegseth and Trump, rules of engagement. I'm telling you now, they would have never opened fire on these people during the Biden administration.
Nope.
They would have not protected the people in the consulate. They would have let them burn that building to the ground, and Americans probably would have died.
Yeah, and if they
Biden
would have
was
done
president.
anything to protect themselves, they'd be in Leavenworth.
Yep, guaranteed.
All right, let's get to some of the reactions of because the reactions are the exact opposite of what the doomers, the dark right, and the fake news would have you believe. In fact, here is Navy SEAL Senator Sheehy on this, and this is an amazing interview. Let's just play this real quick. This is great.
Back to Iraq, saying this is reminding them of Iraq. Why is this not the same thing?
You know, where were the calls to protect American service members when our embassy was captured, when our boats were captured under the Obama administration, when our servicemen were captured and tortured, skinned to death on camera, when our servicemen have been murdered by the hundreds, by the thousands, by Iranian regime, and the response from the Susan Rices and the Ben Rhodes and the Jake Sullivans was to send billions of dollars in cash to the Iranians and begging them to please stop being mean to us. Please stop being mean to the free world. And what did they do in return? They launched rockets. They launched the October 7th attacks and literally brutally tortured and murdered families in front of their family members. Every time we give them an inch, they take a mile and they kill more people. So if they're so worried about protecting American servicemen, Aisha, they should be supporting exactly what's going on right now, because the American servicemen are sick and tired of watching their brothers and sisters be slaughtered by the Iranian regime and nothing being done in response. And the President Trump is the first president ever in the history of this idiotic regime to finally stand up and kill these bastards for what they've been doing for us for far too long. So if we're going to protect American
Can we get some American flags there?
Love it.
Look, here's where I
Hallelujah.
stand on it. People want to know where I stand. Kill them.
Kill them.
Kill them all.
All
Kill all of them. If you threaten America, if you hurt Americans, if you hurt our troops, if you kill our troops, we are going to kill all of you.
Mm-hmm.
What is more America first than that? Let's go, Todd. There's more reactions here that we got on here, I believe.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is a Democrat, Senator Mark Warner, actually having to admit that this is a good thing. Play it.
I will be the first to acknowledge having the supreme leader and other major leaders of the Iranian regime eliminated is good for the region, good for the world. I will.
That's about as good as you're going to get from a Democrat.
Yeah. Besides John Fetterman. I mean, Fetterman.
Oh, yeah, Fetterman. Do we have Brett Baer? Do we have
Yeah,
Brett Baer talking about that this is actually, everybody's like, oh, this will destabilize the region. Oh, this will do that. Actually, it seems like it's having the exact opposite effect. Let's play this.
Since the attacks, it has stiffened the spine of the Gulf Arab allies. In fact, the UAE just put out that their air defenses dealt with 165 ballistic missiles, 2 cruise missiles, and 541 drones since the start of this operation. They have put most of those down, but some of them, as we've seen, have hit civilian areas, including a hotel. Well, that has given the GCC, the Gulf states, really this backbone to stand firm and say an attack of one of us is an attack on all of us, and they're standing with the U.S. and Israel.
Hello. Yeah. Because I think, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. Watching the reaction from Iran, I think they've bombed like 10 different countries at this point. Like there is some like teenager just pushing every button on the computer screen, shooting missiles everywhere, not paying attention to where the hell they're going, and that's backfiring.
Look, man. What else do we have on assets, Todd?
The Iranian reaction, like the people of Iran, they're
wanting to talk.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play that. Yeah, so this is a report coming out that President Trump has said that the people that are technically in line to maybe take over the Iranian government and or start a new, better Iranian government want to talk, essentially come to the table and negotiate with President Trump. Again, and I believe President Trump's response is they want to talk, and at some point I will talk to them. But until then, we're just going to keep bombing the crap out of them because we want to make sure that what they rebuild, I am adding to this, President didn't say this, what they rebuild is upon a pile of rubble of what used to be. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure that what they pour the new concrete over is over every single thing that it used to be. Did we lose that clip, Todd?
Yeah, we did. But hold up, I've got it right here.
Okay, here we go.
I've got a New York Post. I'm trying to find the video right now.
It's fine. We can read the New York Post. That's fine. Just, for all the people who claim that I lie, I just want to put it out there that, this is from verified info. New York Post says, Trump claims, quote, Iran wants to talk and we will talk as he rolls out board of peace.
But we're not stopping. Bombs are going to continue until morale improves.
I'm going to look for that real quick. You talk for a second. I got to find that clip.
Well,
hang on.
Biggest thing for me, and I didn't know if we'd have time to get through it, but thank God that we do.
I got it, Todd. I just did it. Go ahead while you talk.
But the thing with me and praise report here, there's a video circulating right now. And look, I'm sorry. This is my favorite video of over the whole weekend. Is you literally have Iranian Christians singing Waymaker in Farsi after all this is going on. I love this. That's a win. Huge. That's a win for America. That's a win for Jesus. That's just a win all the way around.
That is, but there's a lot of people in America that could care less about that, and that's the sad part. So this is why I want to play this clip that the potential new Iranian government has reached out to President Trump. Again, for those of you who watch and is like, Graham Allen lies. He's just lying. He's taking stuff out of context and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, we're going to play the freaking clip. And then, I don't know how you lie about what's said on a clip. But, let's play it whenever you're ready, Todd. Here we go.
Just got a message from a senior White House official who tells Fox News President Trump said new potential leadership in Iran has indicated they want to talk, and eventually he will talk. For now, Operation Epic Fury continues unabated.
Okay.
Love that.
Are we good?
I love
Are we
that.
good? I know that some things I just remember, you know, when I study all this crap before we do the show, and there's some people who watch and like to nitpick and tear me apart and all this. Graham lies. He's just lying. Nobody said that. Anything else, retards? Anything? Anything at all? Is there anything that we can do to these doomers, to these dark right, as Dan Bongino calls it, cancers inside of our movement and inside of our country? Look, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to get real with you guys for a moment. Is that okay? Well, first of all, if you stand with President Trump and you know that this isn't going to be World War III, I want you to hit the like button and I want you to put an American flag in the comment section right now. I want to know who I'm talking to. But for all the people that will watch this and clip it and talk crap about me and all this other kind of stuff, fine, whatever. Whatever. I meant what I said last Friday. I'm not attacking anyone directly. I'm not going after people directly. We're just bringing receipts and we're talking facts here. Here is a fact that many of you online sleuths need to learn. You are not the president of the United States. Now, you, the people, have the power, and you exercise that power on November the 5th, 2024, when you elected President Trump. That was you using your ultimate power and authority. To think that you're going to figure out what's going on and have all the intel and have all everything because you're in a bunch of Facebook group chats and Discord channels, that is insanity.
Yeah.
And it's lunacy. And it's cancerous. If any of these people had actual intel that could help in any regards, whether it's solving a crime like Charlie Kirk's murder, whether it's Israel controls everything and the child sex pedophile ring, whether it's should we have attacked Iran or should we have not, you would have turned that over to the proper authorities. And if you hadn't and you had it, you'd be in jail. You see, there's just certain realities that exist, ladies and gentlemen. You don't do certain things if you actually have the info that you say you have, and you don't make YouTubes about it, and you especially don't monetize it if you do. It's just the truth. You see, and people were like, oh, well, you monetize, Graham. Yeah, I'm not claiming that I've got some bombshell information that the government's lying to you, and this is all a proxy war, and Israel owns all of us and all of this. In fact, wouldn't it make the most sense? Everybody's like, oh, Israel killed Charlie Kirk because he was turned out. Wouldn't it make more sense to kill all these other people who hate Israel and have been talking about it for years? There's just certain realities, ladies and gentlemen. And here's even further the point. I don't know what the future holds here. I don't know if our movement survives what's going on right now. Because there is a psychosis going on that started in a good place. Conspiracy theorists were right. And we were those people for a long time. I feel like we've entered that stage where you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. Because here's the thing about conspiracy theories. If you don't have some thing of truth to go on, the Bible per se, if you stare into the darkness long enough, eventually the darkness is going to stare back. And if you live inside of a mirror maze for too long, eventually you're not going to know which way's left, right, up, down. You're not going to know how to even get out of it. And that's where we are now. We've got people who literally believe that everything, every single aspect of their life, we're in the matrix, we're plugged into the computer systems. You've got people that are so disillusioned, that are so insane and so ingrained. And that's why this time is so dangerous, because these people are dangerous. Not talking about the peoples per se behind the microphone. I'm talking to the people behind the camera that are listening to those people behind the microphone. They are exploiting, they are using the most radicals among us to fund their doomer, anti-America, dark right, fake lie campaigns to fuel their own pockets and put all the blame on the listener that is mentally vulnerable in the first place. Ladies and gentlemen, over this week, I've watched a lot of people's commentary. I've watched a lot of people's shows, and one thing is certain, one thing is for sure, mental health is really at an all-time high here in America.
It really is.
We have got to figure out how to thread this needle the right way. And I think that we as creators have to ask ourselves, we as people behind the mic, it's the same thing. Frankenstein, who's actually the monster? Is it the monster or is it Dr. Frankenstein? Who's really to blame?
Yep.
And I think we as the people who have microphones, I think we have to ask ourselves that question. You can't even joke anymore without people taking what you say that's, half true, half joking around. It's like the gospel, and they run with it. And then they try to counteract going, well, so-and-so said this, but he's full of crap. Yeah, because I was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
And it's not just me, it's everyone. Me and Dan Bongino gave up everything to go into the administration because that's what the people wanted us to do, to put our money where our mouth is, only to come back and be called feds. It's a crazy place to be. But boo-hoo, first world problems, right?
Yeah, some of y'all need some coloring books and safe spaces, like for real, like not kidding. Like it's I don't understand the mentality that I can't support Trump without being a $7,000 paid Israel shill. Like, yeah, Trump did a good job with the economy today. Did you get $7,000 for saying that? Trump has got a pretty good golf game too. Did you get paid $7,000 for saying that too? Like, really, are we that retarded? But never mind. You don't have to answer that. I've been watching the chat today.
Well, and again, that's the point. Whenever you talk about certain things, here's what I know. I don't agree with everything that the administration does. But when the people that we elected to make the decisions, I'm behind the team.
100%.
And if they continue to break trust, not saying that they have, but if they do, then guess what? We, the people, have the ultimate power and authority to vote in November to change it. But the doomers and the dark right would say, vote Democrat, because we need the Democrats to take over. What?
Okay. Yeah.
And then also, in 2028, guess what we're going to have? We're going to have a new president.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to exercise your ultimate power and authority again there too. But once you vote, especially when it comes to the world stage, when the people that you vote for to make the decisions for us, to represent us, when they make a decision on the world stage, you better be waving that red, white, and blue. We get pissed at the USA teams in the Olympics not being pro-America, but when we get into actual real life and death situations, we got people who don't stand behind America. Screw you.
Yes.
Screw you.
Where's
This
my
country's
tumbler?
better off without you. We could probably use 20 or 30 or 40 million less people in this country anyway. Get the crap out.
Mm-hmm.
That's as calm as I know how to say it. All right. That's all we have for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Please, if you agree with what we've said today, do us the distinct honor of hitting that like button right now and leave us a comment in the comment section. If this is your first time watching, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's make sure we do the most important thing, and let's pray real quick.
Let's do it. Father, I come to you this morning on behalf of the members and the families of the members of the United States military that are in harm's way right now. Lord, God bless these men and women that have given a blank check to this country and its citizens that could eventually possibly cost them their lives. And to the 4 service members that were taken away from us, Lord, I pray for them. I wish and I hope that you welcome those 4 members to heaven with open arms. But for the rest of us that are still here, their families, their loved ones, their friends, their other brothers and sisters that are still serving and in harm's way, Lord, I just ask that you give them peace, that you comfort them as much as they can be comforted right now. And Lord, just let them know that the majority of us Americans stand behind them, stand behind their families, stand behind the loved ones that they lost, and let them know that you love them and you are there for them. Father, we thank you for all that you do, and we ask all these things in your Son's name, and may God's people say amen.